Yo, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? And as you can see, it's just Francis. Daniel and Jordan could not make it due to work conflicts and scheduling conflicts, and Michael couldn't make it for personal reasons. So, yeah, for this second straight day, it's going to be a short episode. So, hopefully this is going to be the last and only time this happens, and this is going to be the shortest diving deep into entertainment to date, and hopefully forever. But what's up, everybody? How's everything going? Today, as like on every Friday, thank you for joining us or joining me for diving deep into entertainment. This is the 26th episode. This is not how Rhinos and Aliens planned on the 26th episode to be, but of course, in typical Rhinos and Aliens fashion, something spontaneous has to happen. But today, this, like I said before, this is going to be a short episode. I just wanted to do the typical and standard weekend box office news updates from last weekend when you guys get this. And there's a lot of news happened over this past week, so Rhinos and Aliens wanted to update you on that. Just so you guys know, we're not going to talk about the new Terminator dates and the Men in Black spinoff date because I think those films will go better when we have Jordan and Danielle or Mike with us. So I'm going to keep that for next week. Hopefully everybody's here for the 27th episode because I think that can be very interesting. I have so many things to say about the new Terminator planned trilogy. We've heard that before. And the Men in Black spinoff, I'm going to leave that for next week. But this week, I wanted to give a weekly box office update. And then I wanted to go through 3 quick things, and that'd be a 12 to 15 minute video right there. So thank you for joining Rhinos and Aliens on the 26th episode of Diving Deep into Entertainment, and we hope you enjoy what little there is. But first things first, I just wanted to give everybody the weekly box office update. This is like my little tradition. I don't know why. I just geek out over this stuff. It's fascinating to see what films do what, because when you have this media narrative, oh, this film was the number one film 3 weeks in a row. For example, like Hitman's Bodyguard. You think it's doing really good, and for that film, it is doing really good. But a film that's never number one, for example, World War Z, completely dusts Hitman's Bodyguard. So it's just interesting to see where rankings and the actual box office stand, how critical reception and commercial expectation meet and all stuff like that. So finally get into the box office news. I'm going to try to make this as, I don't even know it. The atmosphere is weird just like yesterday. I don't like this. But just stick in there for 1 week and hopefully everything's going to straighten out because, yeah, Daniel with these 12-hour shifts and then Jordan, 10 straight days. Great manager. 10 straight days. But anyways, okay, so this is the interesting thing, right? The top 3 films were separated by less than 60 grand. Less than 60 grand. That's nothing. That's absolutely nothing. That is just insane. And I was actually off. It's 260, but still. The top 2 was off by less than 40 grand. But so Kingsman finished first. It grossed over 16.9 million, falling about 57%. Then you have It, which continues to just pile up this cash, only fell 43%, which when you consider these numbers and you consider it is just killing it. It hasn't fallen more than 55% every weekend. This weekend it only fell 43%. So that's insane. And then American Made, which was the newest film, a Tom Cruise film, also directed by Doug Liman, who underrated director. That came in at 16.7. So as you can see, Every film for the top 3 was less than 300,000, and the top 2 was less than 40,000. So that's crazy. And the best way to sum that up, that's another way to say a game in sports was decided by inches, legit inches. So, and then the Lego Ninjago film held up decently, 43% drop. It still made over 11.5 million, but when you have such a disappointing opening weekend, it really doesn't even matter. I do want to point out a couple things. Battle of the Sexes, which is that Billie Jean film about the female tennis player defeating the male tennis player, that finally expanded and brought in a decent amount of cash. It made over 3.4 million. And then some noticeable touches is that Mother continues to drop, and it's going to be out of theaters quickly, so see that while you can. And Stronger is not doing good in its wide release. That's the Jake Gyllenhaal film. So now I just want to get that out there. So Kingsman: The Golden Circle is at the end of that weekend was at 66 million. Now it's officially over 70 million as I'm recording this. It's at the end of its fourth weekend was at 290. It's officially past 295. So worst case scenario now, it is going to make a run for, well, worst case scenario, it's going to finish with at least 315, and it still has a shot at 330 depending how it holds, how many theaters it can keep. But that's encouraging. So just this author, this individual on Twitter who works for Forbes, Scott Mendelson, he wrote a great article saying there might be a chance, depending Thor doesn't blow people away and Justice League is received in the same manner as Batman vs. Superman, it might make more domestically than those two superhero films. Now, I'm praying that Justice League is actually received well by critics and it's able to actually make a good good chunk of money. But yo, that's a crazy thought. And then American Made, as I'm recording, is over 20 million. So it's not doing bad for the type of film it is in today's day. That's always impressive. Okay, but now moving on, I wanted to bring up 3 things. This remake of I would say a genre classic, Death Wish, which is being directed by Eli Roth and is starring Bruce Willis. It actually looks pretty good. It got pushed back to 2018, which was a smart move because it was originally dated for November, if I'm correct, and it's getting out of that whole November bloodbath. So that's looking good. And my only problem about that, it kind of gave me a vibe of some fake, not fake, like ripping off of John Wick. That's my only problem with that. But besides that, it's like Bruce Willis back in action. He's doing his whole Die Hard thing where he's going to kick ass and take names later. So that looks great. The second thing is, if you guys have seen or heard about Molly's Game, it stars Jessica Chastain and Idris Elba. That film looks amazing. And the best part, too, it got pushed back from its Thanksgiving release to now it's being released for Christmas. And that gives me a sign of hope because that means the STX is actually confident in this. And this might actually make more money than Miss Salone. But then again, Miss Salone was released in December, and yeah, that. If you guys are into political thrillers, you're into dramas, see Miss Salone. That film is phenomenal. Phenomenal. I actually think I'm going to get Michael to watch that, and that'll be one of the whole Michael impressions thing, so. Or whatever we title that show, that series. But yeah, so Molly's Game, if you haven't seen the trailer, look that up. It looks very good. It looks juicy. It looks like a pure 1990s film where it's all based on the leads and hopefully it lives up to the hype. Now the number one thing I wanted to talk about, and I don't think I was about to say coworkers, my friends, my allies would have much to say about this is the whole Harvey Weinstein situation. Now, Harvey Weinstein is the co-founder of the Weinstein Company. These are the people who have brought on you the most recent Tarantino films, from Glorious Bastards, Django Unchained, and the newest film, The Hateful Eight, right? And they brought you the most recent film that I've been raving about, in Winds River. That film is incredible. So the Weinstein Company actually transitioned from Miramax because Harvey Weinstein used to work for Miramax, and once that went downhill, the Weinstein Company basically took over as Miramax, symbolically, or however you want to go about that. Now the problem is, supposedly he's been in this whole sex scandal thing, or not sex scandal thing, this abusive situation where sexual misconduct, where for the supposedly past couple decades he's been using his power to his advantage, right? And the New York Times just released a piece where supposedly many famous actresses, many famous producers, and just regular staffers have been abused in one way or another, just not physically, but more so mentally. And it's a big deal because the Weinstein Company has been on the float as of late. It hasn't really been producing that many successful films, and the few films that are successful, they haven't been getting the critical acclaim and the Oscar award buzz that those films normally get. So this is worst time for this to come out, and it's not looking good. It's not looking good. He's most likely done in Hollywood, just because think about our landscape, right? Our landscape, especially now, just with the race issues in America, gender issues are not any better. And when you're the head honcho of a company, especially in an industry that's pushing, quote unquote, for progress, and then this comes out, you just have no shot. And it pains me because most likely it's true. It pains me because the Weinstein Company is probably going to go the same route as Miramax now. And yeah, it's just, oh God, it's insane how in the movie biz, especially today, where a company can have such a good back catalog, right? Could have such a good catalog, and just 1-2 bad years happen, especially for a company that's more so known for indies. And then when something like this happens, you're almost done. So hopefully the Weinstein Company can get out of this, but Harvey Weinstein is basically done. You could go to the New York Times, Hollywood Reporter, Deadline, Variety, all the major entertainment, whatever you want to call it, entertainments, businesses are into this, newspapers or whatever. So it's a good read. It's a fascinating read. It shows how, as much as everybody says they want change, or as much as like all these industries are saying we're pushing for change, how much change is really happening. And it's up to you if you believe New York Times, if you believe Harvey Weinstein, and he hasn't denied it yet. So that should say something right there. But I just want to point that out because normally when we think of the movie industry or the entertainment biz, period, whenever you hear about sex situations, it's more so because women don't get enough roles, they don't have enough opportunities. The same thing for minorities. And when something like this happens, it's a double-edged sword because not only does this show that women don't have as many opportunities as men, but it shows what they have to do sometimes to get some opportunities, you know? So it's fucked up. It's been going on for decades. This is just not in the movie biz, but yeah. So I think that's it. I just wanted to give a quick update show everybody that we're still kicking. So yeah, so just a roundabout. Kingsman: The Golden Circle is not performing to expectations. It's dropping quicker than the original, and honestly, as next week I'm going to talk about this with the bros, it's not a good film. I was shocked how bad it was. And the thing too is I didn't even look at the reviews until after the film. And when I looked at the reviews, and you know me, I barely agree with the review status, but yeah, it's a very mediocre film. And then I just wanted, it is still killing it. American Made looks like it's going to make a profit. It's doing really well overseas. I'll keep an update with that. I'll give the final total when everything's said and done. And yeah, if you guys haven't seen the trailers for Death Wish and Molly's Game, definitely go see those. Death Wish looks like it could be a pretty good remake, because we haven't had a lot of those. Look at the newest remake, Flatliners. It's supposedly dreadful, but I'm not going to judge that film until I see it. Molly's Game, man, that looks like Miss Salone 2.0, so I'm in on that. So I can't wait to see that. And then, yeah, the whole Harvey Weinstein thing, it's... If you're into the whole entertainment biz, you've already heard about it. But if you haven't, look into it. It's very interesting. And this shows how no matter what industry, crap like this continues to happen. And it just makes you question if stuff like this is ever going to stop happening, you know? But if Danielle or Jordan or Michael were here, they would say, if you like the video, give us that thumbs up. I actually think I did pretty good compared to yesterday. Yesterday, my mind was scrambled. I had to go to work. I went to work an hour and a half after that. I didn't know. That was a bad video. You guys don't have to like that video. But I think I did pretty good this time. So if you liked it, give us that thumbs up. Leave comments, feedback. Since it is only me, tell me if I can improve on anything. I know I don't have the best charisma when I'm by myself, but then again, this is my nerdy shit, so I'm just in my mind, I'm really geeking out right now. But thank you for joining us for yet another week. This wasn't the planned 26 episode of Diving Deep like I wanted, just like yesterday, it wasn't the planned Rhinos and Aliens show that I wanted, but what are you going to do? Life moves on, and you have to do the best that you can. But yeah, so we're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, we're on Instagram, we're also on Twitch, but we haven't posted anything on that. But just want to say thank you guys. We really appreciate it. I appreciate it. And the biggest thing, just like I said yesterday, of all the weeks, this is the week if you want us to talk about, do a top 10 video of whatever series or whatever music, anything that has to do with entertainment. This is the week. I'm going to write that down, and we're eventually going to get to it. I promise you. Just like how I said yesterday, we're eventually going to get to the new seats in these theaters, and I was going to talk, and we're eventually going to get to what's that one film? God. The Witch, that's it. So we're eventually going to do impressions of that. So thank you guys, and I hope to see you next week. So peace out, everybody. Much love. So if you want to subscribe, just hit this bad boy up here, that big fat rhino. If you want the newest video, to the right. If you want the recommended, to the left. And then, of course, our personal dick pic. Yep, right below. So thank you for joining us once again, and we hope to see you next week. So peace out.
Peace.